All right, let's get this started. Sorry, that's deeply unfortunate. All right, next life, next life. We go again. All right, so this is something that um, a lot of flankers don't really think about it, but when you time your entrance is way more important than how successful than your ability to execute on the entrance, right? So right here, look at what your team's doing, right? So your monkey just got in, your Genji got in, your rest of your team is still at the choke trying to figure out how to get in, right? You're waiting for your Zarya, right? So it's way stronger to commit and try to do things when your team is also jumping in because it stresses their attention. They have to do with so many. They have to deal with a lot of things at once. And you see how when you went for the honor, you got one clip in, and then immediately everything was flying your way, right? And then you got a recall, right? But that doesn't happen when your team is also going in at the same time, right? Um, so just try and time that so that way you have recall for the actual fight because now you're in a situation where you kind of can't really hard commit anymore for the next I don't know 12 seconds ish because you're just waiting on recall, right? So just keep that in mind. Also, this guy's hunting you. Yeah. You're gonna burn to death. Okay, so you're 100% gonna burn to death there. So you have to grab a health pack to purge the burn. I don't know if you know, but grabbing a health pack will remove debuffs. So it'll remove Widow Poison Mines. It'll remove anti. Well, you can't remove anti nade because you can't pick up the health pack. But it'll remove other debuffs. It'll remove fire. Things like that. Yeah. Um, so yeah, you're 100% gonna die here. So you just have just commit blinks to grab health pack. Yeah, you can't shoot other Ashes dynamites. So whenever you hear the fire in the hole, so there's two things you need to do right now. One is to prevent the res, and the other is to find the Junkrat because you can kill him, right? Because he's tiring. So the tire definitely came from over here. You could hear it. It came from the left. There's only one place he could be. Every tire is gonna come from up here, right? So just triple blink across this if you need to try and kill him before he finishes, right? Obviously there's a trap here, so watch out for that. Um, yeah. If this Mercy was smarter, she would actually just wait on this res for a couple seconds longer. It's not like she doesn't have time, but she's gonna res anyway, so yeah. But you need to make sure that you cancel this res because you're not doing either now. You're not dealing with the res or the tire, the Junkrat. This is another important note. If you're against Orisa and especially against Ashe, you need to play away from corners. So if you're not sure whether or not they're going to try and kill you here, you need to be here, so you don't get pulled and you don't get dynamited, right? Um, and because either one kills you here. What the heck? So you're spending a lot of time sitting here, but you have 40 HP, which means that even if your team gets a good engage off, you're not going to be able to stay in it very much, right? So if that's the case, um, you kind of just need to if you can see that they're all facing this direction, not looking, you need to go back across over here and try to get a health pack because you're stuck here right now, and you're not going to be in position to actually fight. And as soon as you jump in, you're probably going to die. You might get a pulse bomb off, but you need to do more than that if you want to have a lot of agency over the outcome of the game. Oh no. Okay. If you don't want to fight here, don't let them know you're here because you have no health. Also play away from the corner again. Don't get pulled. Yeah. So you're just kind of not doing anything. You look scared to like do anything. Like you're so scared of dying, but at the same time, like you know where they all are. Just keep going through the tunnel, grab a health back, and reassess from there, right? Because like right now, like you physically can't do anything without risking dying. Oh my god, there's no way they let you. Oh my god. All right. I'm sorry. That's funny. But yeah, like I said, like and when you're a 40 HP tracer, like literally anything will kill you, right? So you just have to like just go grab a health back. Don't worry about it. Yeah. The Mercy just canceled her own res. All right, your teams burn about all their ults and they win the fight. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So as Tracer, you pretty much never want to go the same way your team is going. So if your monkey is going right here, and you hear Junkrat bombs going his way, what are the odds that if you walk through there, you're going to catch a Junkrat bomb? They're pretty high, right? So if you see your team going that way, and you know that they're getting shot at, right? Especially if you know they're getting shot at, but just in general, just come out this way. There's no downside, right? Yeah. So you realize that, but like just you'd save like a little bit like you need to make the process the reaction a little bit faster because you can be closer, for example, and more threatening. So this is really committal. If we were live, I'd ask you if you know why, but the short answer is that if you blink across and you fight and then your recall doesn't actually take you to safety. Your recall puts you anywhere in like this general area, right? And they have like a McCree who can shoot you, and an Ana who can shoot you, right? And a Moria who can suck at you. So generally speaking, like this is like really committal because it says like I'm gonna like go all the way around you and then go for like kills, and hopefully ruin my team engages. But like we haven't had a lot of success with that so far in this game, right? A way better variant of this is literally just to go high ground, right? Like again, they don't see you. It's effectively the same thing, right? If you come up these stairs, but now if you fight, if you recall, you'll end up on the high ground, right? And if you recall too late and you end up on the low ground, then that's something you can fix for later because you want to like spend all your time fighting on the high ground pretty much. And you can do this, like you can blink out, shoot a little bit, blink back. You can shoot on their heads, right? You can blink on this guy, like fall and try to land on shoot on his head. And if like you don't get the one clip, or even if you do get the one clip, you can just recall and land on back on the high ground. And this is stuff you can do while you're waiting for your team to get set up. Because right now your team's still in the cart, so like there's gonna be a while for the next fight. And you just control the high ground, be a nuisance, and do what you want, right? If you had pulse bomb, you go for a pulse here. It would be really effective. You just deny the fight before it happens, or you can just wait and then wait for them. Your team to start walking forward. Your team to start getting ready to meet them, and then you drop them for the pulse bomb. That's a guaranteed fight win, right? Not guaranteed, but pretty close. But generally, you just should go high ground. That's a short answer. Yeah, so you're not even able to use recall because like you can't recall anywhere effective, and you spend all your blinks running away, right? And you might even die anyways. All right, you don't die, but like you didn't actually get nearly as much as you wanted. You got like 14, or I guess like yeah, you got about like 16% ult, and that's like one clip, right? It's very little. If you're high ground, you just keep shooting them, and there's almost nothing they can do about it as long as you're good about dodging shots and don't get hit by the McCree. All right, good. You're going high ground this time. Should just default to this in general. So again, when you're going high ground, you don't have to immediately go for like value. You can afford to wait, right? You don't even have to shoot initially. You can just come here, scout where they are, and say, "Hey, monkey, you ready to jump?" And then when the monkey jumps from that corner to here, you just land on top of them and shoot them. And there's not much they can do about it anymore because there's a monkey in a bubble in their face, right? But because you're going so early, it's causing a lot of problems. Oh, okay. So the Junkrat is is looking at you. You have to be very cautious because Junkrat's one of those here. Because just in general, a lot of DPS, but especially like Junkrat, McCree, they kind of just blow you up if you're not paying attention. So you just need to always pay attention to these guys and have good enough movement to dodge them. So right here, like he concussioned into you, right? If he's good, he just left click melees you and you just 100 0. It doesn't, you can't even react to that, right? So you just need to like be ready And if you see him moving in your direction, like blink. Now you feel scared and you come back to your team. This is relatively low value. Uh, Looks like you're panicking a bit with these blinks. You can go for a stick there and you'll probably kill that monkey, by the way. You can't really get away from it. Oh, there's the McCree. So this is a relatively small thing comparatively, but when there's a grab like this, you want to try and get it on the ground underneath them, um, because if you stick someone, especially like a tank on the outside, this pulse bomb might not actually kill the people on the very edge of the grab, depending on how many people are in the grab. So you want to put it directly underneath them, so it'll hit all of them uniformly, and it'll do like close to max damage on all of them. Or take the time to make sure you stick one of the squishies like towards the center, but like if you're not sure, just stick the ground. So you get all of them here, but that might not happen in a bigger grab, so just keep that in mind. Good awareness though to like target the grab with the pulse bomb. Always good to do that. Combos are good. All right, so now that we've talked about this a little bit, I think. Actually, no, not with this group. So whenever you win a fight, you should be thinking, especially with dive, you should be trying to set up for the next fight, right? So right now, you guys have got a lot of guys in cart, one guy coming back from spawn, right? How can the enemy like get into the site or get into fight, right? There's that door on the left, that door on the right, and this window that's kind of hard for anyone to really use, right? So knowing this, you should be setting up on a flank around one of these doors in preparation to just like go ham on whoever tries to walk through those doors, right? Um, so you should just get ready for this. Just like I think what's going to happen is you and the monkey are just going to jump back to the cart, and then you're just going to sit there until the fight's about to start again. And that's really not how you want to play this, because you want to have like the less cooldowns you have to commit to get to the enemy team, the more you have to use, the more you have available to use in the fight or to get away, right? So like again, the problem with running this way around is you're counting on them to not see you as you run at them. With the earlier example, right? You're counting them not to see you in order to get to them, right? Because otherwise, in order to get in, you have to commit blinks, and they saw you as you started shooting, and you had to use all your blinks to get out, right? It was still good that you didn't use your blinks to get in though, because then you have to recall, and then you don't need blinks still to get out, right? But that's why high ground's so good, because you can get up here, guaranteed drop down without them seeing you, right? So it's just generally better. So here you have a couple of choices. There's a spot you can actually get. You can actually climb these rocks and get on top of here, and then like blink across to here, and just park yourself right here. And then now you have good vision of everything. You can make a play on pretty much any door with one blink or less. And there's options. Alternatively, you can play here. This one's a little more difficult because it's blindside, and a lot of times the supports or enemy heroes will try to rotate through here to get to the bridge. So they might catch you unawares and just like kill you while they're rotating. You can also just sit like in the middle here, just crouch, and chances are they won't see you, and then you can just like get freebies from behind, right? But you just, it doesn't really matter where you play. Just set up somewhere, and then you can evaluate the decision afterward. Nice, good bait on the flashbang. All right, so I know you started shooting at the Junkrat, but you just heard the Moira finish her fade next to you, right? So if that's the case, you know how low you just got the Moira. Make sure you kill her before she gets to use like her orb, for example, to heal herself, or starts life stealing. Just like, I know you already locked onto a target, but like, just stop what you're doing, kill the Moira, because you just shot her. You know how low she is. Yeah, now you do this, but now she's had time, right? Now she's got a little bit more health. If you did this much damage earlier, she actually just would have died. So you get the kill anyways, but like it's more difficult. You take probably like 30 more damage than you needed to, right? Does these efficiencies matter on killing heroes that don't normally die very often, like Moira? All right, no sleep. Woo! You just saw the McCree. Careful. Shooting these bombs is like not very efficient. Your team's committed, like your tanks are committed to like fighting over here. Oh my god, they're so committed. Maybe not. I was about to say go help them, but then I realized that they're like in the enemy spawn, so maybe not. But yeah, there has to be something better to shoot than the bombs. Even if the choice is to literally leave and go grab a health pack, that's a better choice than sitting there on cart shooting bombs. Because the bombs aren't affecting anybody, right? They're just cutting you off from the cart, but like you can't really be on cart anyways, so just go grab some health. Whoops. Oh, that was a pretty good engage from your team, actually. They were a little overextended, but we take those. Oh, you're playing with fire. Yeah, that was just really greedy. Alright, let's watch how to use this pulse bomb, and then we'll probably end it there. So if you see this guy about to slam, and you're kind of low, you probably just want to blink back, or blink to the side, because not having recall is a pretty big deal. I don't mind that recall, though, but wasn't the best. Nice follow-up. When you're reloading as Tracer, you should probably just blink here. It just saves you a lot of health. If this guy had better tracking, you'd actually die from this, because she has like a really high charge beam. Alright, get set up for the next fight. I like this. You can actually like get all the way up here even. Like, you can just sit up here. I'd also recommend, grabbing health or getting some kind of assistance for your team before you come set up like this, because you're just kind of low. It's like the same problem as earlier when you were sitting at 40 health on the flank. Like, sure, you're flanking, but you also can die to almost anything. Also, when you come out to chase this Ana like this, remember, like, it's like it's like crossing the street, right? You gotta look both ways first, right? Because the spawn doors are on either side, and you don't know if someone's coming out the spawn door will see you and will shoot at you while you're going for this, right? So as you come out, be like, okay, no one there, no one there. All right, now I shoot the Ana, right? As I get close, right? Don't chase the ball. Okay, so when the ball is already out, right? He's no longer a concern. You need to figure out how you're going to like get aggressive, because like this time while you're doing this, the heck is this animation? Like while you're doing this, the enemy team is getting aggressive position. The McCree's taking high ground. They're all coming out of spawn, right? You just need to be a bit more active than this, because this is like chasing a ball that's like not going to do anything. He also has shields. Like you can't even get ult from this. It just feels really bad. Oh, nice duck. Yeah, you do a lot of like lateral blinking where you blink side to side, but you do very little like forward 180 and then and then go back on 180. You do very little of that. And generally speaking, those are better because it makes the other guy turn more, right? So if the McCree's trying to flash you, right? If in order to flash you from here to here, it's a relatively small movement, and he can track that, right? So you can be like, oh, he blinked there, flash, right? But if you blink behind him, he has to turn all the way around, and you can do something during that time, right? You can like, for example, one thing that tracers can do is they can blink forward and then like very quickly after that just blink back, and that way you never have to turn, and meanwhile the other guy's having to process which direction, and he probably flashes the wrong side, right? So like just be try to make the enemy when you're dueling them have to like actively move the camera more just to aim at you, right? If you're not comfortable doing 180s, that's something you should practice. It's very valuable in general, especially on Tracer. I don't know how much you actually play Tracer. I think you played it like pretty much only Hanzo during the scrim or during our first session, but just keep in mind that like or was that a different group? I think you played Hanzo. Yeah. But yeah, Tracer especially, but also just a lot of heroes also benefit from 180 practice, because like for example, if you're them at Kree and you're fighting a Tracer, being able to 180 super fast is like really valuable as well. Just like precise 180s. But yeah, I'd get in the habit of like blinking through people more, or at least blinking at like harder angles as opposed to like side to side, right? If you want to blink forward to the left slightly, that's still pretty good because it makes the McCree have to turn more than like just like this. He has to turn like all the way like this to aim at you, right? And then meanwhile, like as you do this, you blink, you face him, then you blink through him, and now you do another 180. He's like he runs out of mouse pad space after a certain point, right? So those are things you can do to really mess with them, but you just need to make them turn. Otherwise, you're a free target. Yeah, it really doesn't look like you're comfortable 180ing very much. Yeah, so if you look how you take this fight, you walked into him, you shot at him, and instead of blinking through him and then turning around and sticking, you kind of like walked into him to stick, and then you blink back where he can still shoot you, right? So if you stick, and he's like shooting at you, and you're worried about dying, just blink through him and go grab this mini, right? These are like core dueling skills in Tracer. Yeah, your aim overall is pretty good, but you need to like work on 180s. You need to work on like blink, being less predictable with your blinks, and just like overall just making it. Even if you're predictable, you need to make the blinks harder to hit afterward. Positioning wise, you need to like emphasize high ground, and try to time things with your team, especially your monkey. Monkey and Tracer are supposed to work together like all the time. He's your best friend. You're his best friend, and you just need to make sure that like you're coordinating dives together. Against Lucio based comps, you don't really want to dive together that much because you want to go in and like force the Lucio cooldown, the amp in particular, before the monkey jumps. But it's still not entirely bad to just go in together even if he has amp, because like the two of you are like a really strong tag team. It's very hard to deal with. Um, what else? Don't be afraid to grab health packs. Don't be afraid to live off the land. If they don't know where you are, like abuse that, right? Go grab health packs, come in behind them, do whatever you need to. Overall, not bad. But those are things to work on for the future. If you plan on playing Tracer more, this is mostly like Tracer specific. But yeah, have any questions about anything I just said? Let me know. And that's all for this.